The Torah gives us very little information about what life was like for Moshe, when he was a young boy growing up in the palace in Egypt. But there's a medrash that fills in some of the details. When Moshe was a toddler, Pharaoh himself would hug him and kiss him, and Moshe would reach up and playfully take the crown off of Pharaoh's head. Pharaoh's astrologers and wise men were worried about this. They said to him, "Your Excellency, what if he's the boy about whom we prophesied would someday actually take the crown off your head and wrest control of Egypt away from you? You should kill him." So Pharaoh consulted his trusted circle of advisors, and one of them, Yisro, Jethro, who not coincidentally years later became the father-in-law of Moshe, suggested the following test. Let's take the young boy, put an ingot of gold and a flaming hot coal in front of him, and let's see which one he chooses. If he chooses the gold, that shows that he's got wisdom beyond his years, in which case, Pharaoh, you should be worried, and you should kill him per the advice of your astrologers. But if he chooses the flaming coal, that's irrational, shows he doesn't have any wisdom, in which case his playful, clumsy attempts at taking the crown off your head are meaningless, and you don't have to worry about him, and you can let him live. Pharaoh agreed. They did the test. They took the young Moshe, put the coal and the gold in front of him, and Moshe started to reach for the gold. He was no dummy. He knew what that represented. It was the winning Powerball ticket, the riches of Egypt that were there for his taking as he grew up as the adopted son of Pharaoh's daughter. But God immediately sent the angel Gabriel, unseen, to push Moshe's hand away towards the coal. So instead, Moshe picked up the coal and then put it in his mouth, burned himself, and for the rest of his life, he had a speech impediment. Now we understand why the angel had to push Moshe's hand away from the gold onto the coal, but why did Moshe have to put the coal into his mouth? I saw two fascinating answers as follows. One answer is that God specifically did not want a gifted orator to lead the Jews out of Egypt and to bring the Torah down from heaven, because he didn't want people to later say, "Oh, I know how that happened. Moshe, that skillful speaker, he spoke his way, he talked his way out of Egypt, and then he made up that whole story about God and the Torah. That was a silver-tongued snow job." So instead, God wanted someone with a speech impediment, someone for whom speech and speaking were difficult, so that everyone would realize it was God, only God, and nothing but God who took us out of Egypt and gave us the Torah. A second answer is that Moshe understood instantly when the angel pushed his hand away from the gold what he was giving up. That gold, those riches, that Powerball ticket, it's there for me, but I remember now what my mother told me when she was nursing me. I have a different destiny. I have a different mission as a Jew, and I need a fire burning within me to remind me of that the rest of my life. So putting that coal in his mouth, burning himself, gave him that reminder that he needed that internal combustion engine, that he had to be in fuego at all times, doing things that to the rest of the world seemed irrational. And that's us. If we want to be successful as Jews, we have to be able to resist the slings and arrows and barbs and insults and raised eyebrows and quizzical looks from the outside world. Shabbat? How antiquated. Kosher? How quaint and backwards. The laws of family purity? How bizarre. We need to be in fuego. We need to be on fire. We need that fire burning within us.
Unbelievable! He is en fuego!